Hi, everyone. Welcome to Gene Calderon's Apologetics Ministries, where we're going to continue going through our theme days. And every day has a different theme to it, which makes it kind of fun when we talk about different subjects. And today, being Sunday, we are going to do what we call Sunday Science. Now, Sunday Science is, again, we take a look at scientific discoveries or some of the scientific philosophies even about why we believe what we believe when it comes to our faith. And so some people struggle about whether or not science and faith go together, fact from faith, or things like that. And we like to say that, yeah, we're actually following the science to the logical conclusion, and that actually leads us or brings us back to where our faith already was. So, but it's important for us to be able to know that and understand that and even explain that to other people who don't find it working that way. And it's usually a wrong perception, or most people are just generally not scientists or biochemists or astrophysicists or things of that sort. So that's what we're going to cover. And today, I know, is a big topic that everybody's been waiting for, or all of our followers or fans or friends have been hoping for us to be able to do. And that's what we're going to do today. And that is Darwin's Tree of Life. We are going to take a look at that and just kind of see, does that really make sense? Because in Darwin's sketch, we're talking about Charles Darwin, because Darwin's sketch that he drew for his book, originally in his book called The Origin of Species, he drew that and he tries to show us how his theory of all living creatures have come from one common ancestor. Now, we have had about a century's worth of fossil discoveries since that sketch has come out. I mean, it's actually been over a century. So our question is, how has his evolutionary tree held up? Darwin would probably not be too happy to see that his tree really does not hold up to the fossil evidence that has been discovered. A molecular and cellular biologist named Jonathan Wells was able to say that as an illustration of the fossil record, the tree of life is just a failure. It does not show accurately the things that have been discovered over the last 150 years or so. Darwin's theory was that if one population was exposed to a set of conditions and another was exposed to other conditions, then several varieties within these species could eventually separate and become different species. And he believed that this would happen slowly by small, slight, successive, favorable variations, in that no great or sudden modifications were possible. And again, these are quotes from his book on the origins of species. But the fossil evidence, even in Darwin's day, actually showed the opposite. There was a rapid appearance of high-level differences in the event that's known or called today the Cambrian explosion. You see, Darwin believed that future fossil discoveries of his time would support his theory, but that hasn't happened in the last 150 years or longer, as we've been discovering and researching fossils. Actually, the fossil discoveries have actually turned Darwin's tree upside down. Instead of major groups of animals coming in last, they actually start to appear first. And that Cambrian explosion was so much more sudden and extensive than scientists originally thought. Now, I've been talking about the Cambrian explosion. What is that? What is the Cambrian explosion? Well, it is a period of time that gives us that sudden appearance of most of the major animal divisions that are both still alive today, although some have gone extinct. And these animals, which are so fundamentally different in their body parts, they appear fully developed and all of a sudden, not enough time for any evolutionary process to have taken place. And this is what paleontologists have called the single most spectacular phenomenon of the fossil world. The Cambrian explosion really puts Darwin's sketch of his tree of life upside down. In fact, it looks like many different species with different body parts appear suddenly and then start to grow and maybe adapt or change, but never turn into another species. And so that is a problem that we have found with Darwinism and evolution, is that the fossil record does not support the original thought of Darwin's theories. And Darwin himself says if this could not be proven, that it would actually nullify his theory in his own words. So again, that's something to think about. That's something to research and look into about the Cambrian explosion, looking at the fossil record and comparing it to Darwin's original theory of evolution. It really becomes a problem to hold on to the evolutionary theory. And so this is what we're trying to look at, some of the iconic models of evolution. and see whether or not they hold up to history's discoveries or not. So I hope you enjoy this. Again, this is Gene Calderon with Sunday Science. I am a missionary local to Northwest Indiana, really reaching out to students on the campus of Purdue University Northwest through the ministry of Ratio Christi. I do serve in my home church in East Chicago, but also all across Northwest Indiana with conferences, seminars, speaking topics. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just here to serve the community and give us something to think about. What do you think about this? Have you looked into this? And is this a shock? Or is this something you always believed but didn't really know where to look? Again, there are plenty of resources on this, specifically on this topic, and I would encourage you to go ahead and look some of those up and compare and contrast some of the notes and the discoveries. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again soon. God bless you. Take care.